52809.
Court's been asked to authorize a petition for probate, appoint a personal representatives, and make a determination of heirs. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Adam Berman appearing on behalf of the petitioner.
Do you expect anyone else to be joining you today?
Yes, they are appearing by Zoom.
Yes, Charissa Isaacs and
I'm Jeff Isaacs.
Jeff and Charissa, welcome. Okay, Mr. Berman, you may proceed.
Yes, this is our petition for probate. This is an intestate matter. The decedent passed away on January 18th, 2023 in the county of Lenawee. She had two children. There was Jeffrey Isaacs and Chris Isaacs. Jeffrey Isaacs is present, and they are nominating Charissa Isaacs to be personal representative of this estate. All parties have been served and published. There is also a waiver and renunciation of right from Anna Marie Isaac Spencer filed with the court, where all parties agree that Charissa Isaacs to be personal representative of this estate without bond at this time.
Thank you. What are the assets as you understand? And I understand it's a preliminary stage, but what will you be needing to probate?
The main asset is the home in Tecumseh, Michigan at this time.
Did you wish to take any testimony from your proposed PR or anyone else?
If the court requires it, I may, but if not, we can proceed.
No, that's fine. It's up to you.
No, that's okay. I have nothing further.
All right. The file does support all of the indications that Mr. Berman gave us this morning. It does appear Ms. Lillian Eloise Isaacs passed away on January 18th, 2023, a resident of our Lenawee County, making venue proper in this court. It is uncontested at this point, both in writing and no one has appeared today as it relates to the determination of heirs and the fact that she passed away without a will, making this an intestate estate. It does also appear that Charissa Isaacs is suitable for appointment pursuant to the appropriate statutes, and that supervised administration and bond is not necessary at this time, given the preliminary understanding of the assets and the assertions in the proposed orders and pleadings that are, again, uncontested. It will be the order of the court. The petition is granted. The findings are also reflected, including the indication that Ms. Isaacs passed away intestate. Ms. Charissa Isaacs is appointed personal representative to serve without bond, and the determination of heirs is also noted in the order. I have signed the letters of authority granting Charissa Isaacs what she needs to begin the administration of the estate. And unless there's any questions, that's all for today. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you.
This is in the matter of Gary Butts, file 40247.
In this file, the court has been asked to approve a final accounting. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Judith Mary.
Morning, Ms. Mary.
Good morning.
Michael McFarland, attorney guardian ad litem. I show this on my docket, but it is not in my database.
Well, it's on my docket too. So
Okay.
have you had a chance to look at that final accounting then? Because it looks like we have a waiver on the 27th and the 28th, but simply the final accounting looks like it may have been something that you haven't had a chance to look at.
That's a possibility, Your Honor. I can be down there a little bit later this morning. I'm actually just a block away at my office today.
All right. Well, do we want to take verification from Ms. Mary on those and then allow you to have a look at that?
I think that'd be the way to proceed, Your Honor.
Deputy Ames.
Remain seated, but you can remain seated. Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, it looks like we have the 26th and, I'm sorry, the 27th and 28th annual accountings, as well as a final accounting and a proof that assets have been transferred. Is that your understanding? Ms. Mary?
Yes.
Is all the information in those pleadings truthful, accurate, and complete to the best of your knowledge and information?
Yes.
All right, are there any pieces of information in here that you'd like to bring to my attention specifically? Or anything that of note, really?
The only thing, Mr. McFarland, contacted me concerning a $800 note in here and asked what it was for. Evidently, I don't know, all those papers have been passed on to the next conservator and guardian. The only thing I can think of is it was to enhance his living arrangements, which now is in a nursing home. So that's the only thing I can say.
And how was your time as you were working with Mr. Butts? Is he doing all, I mean, obviously he's in a nursing home now, but.
He's doing very well. He was in the apartments, Kiwanis apartments that, yeah.
it got shut
So
down.
it's been rough from that point on, but now he's in a home and he's very happy.
Kind of funny.
And I was his guardian for 26
I
years.
see that. That's a lot.
Yes.
Any questions, Mr. McFarland?
Your Honor, I do not. I appreciate her refreshing my memory on that. And that was, I believe I want her to give testimony in court and the court to decide the appropriateness. I do not find on its face it's inappropriate. We just don't have the documentation there.
All right, so you'll come over then and have a look at the rest of the file in a bit to decide whether or not you want to file your waiver?
Well, Your Honor, I have already taken a look at the file and I called her on that, and that was the only concern I had. So if the court is satisfied with their testimony on that one entry, then that's where we stand. I could not sign the waiver and consent without the documentation. So if the court's satisfied with their testimony, I guess that's what we'll say.
Very well. Do you have any other concerns or anything else that you wanted to ask her about?
No, Your Honor, I'm familiar with her and this case, and she's done a real good job on this case. So I think it's just a matter of just not having that particular document. And if the court believes her testimony, which I do, I have no further questions.
Thank you. Well, the court finds all interested parties were given notice for the request to approve the final accounting. We've had, of course, the testimony of Ms. Mary in support of that, as well as an inquiry by Mr. McFarland. And it does appear that the final accounting is correct and ought to be allowed, and that is what the order will reflect. I also have the proof of transfer allowing the closing of the file, and will discharge and thank Ms. Mary for her service in this one.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
This is in the matter of John Monahan, file 47368.
Right. In this file, the court's been asked to approve the 10th annual accounting. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Joan Monahan,
I'm sorry, what was your first? Sorry, what was your first name?
Joan,
Joan, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Charles Gross, appearing on behalf of the estate.
Michael McFarland, Attorney Guardian Litem.
Welcome, everyone. Mr. Gross.
Your Honor, notice has been given to or waived by all the interested parties. I've reviewed the accounting. I believe that it's correct and ought to be allowed. And we're talking about the 10th, 11th, and 12th accounts filed by Joan Monaghan.
Yes, I see that now. Thank you for that correction. Any questions of your conservator?
No, I don't.
Okay. Mr. McFarland.
Your Honor, I did sign a waiver and consent that should be contained in the file.
Thank you. Yes, I do have those. I am also having a look at it. It does appear to be correct. With the assistance of Mr. Gross, it is a very good detailed itemization of what the expenses are that have been managed in this file. So all three of the accountings do appear to be correct and ought to be allowed at this time, including the fees and costs as set forth without any exceptions. So I will sign verifying that. I don't have any written objections either, nor has anyone appeared to object. So for all those reasons, the accountings are approved. Unless there's any questions, that's all on this file.
No questions. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
No question.
This is
Thank you,
in the
Your Honor.
matter of Lisa Marie Asberg, file 51867.
All right, this is another case where we're looking at the request to approve a first and final accounting. May I have the names of our participants?
Leslie McDonald.
Thank you.
Michael McFarland, Attorney Guardian Litem.
All right, Deputy, introduce swearing Ms. Leslie McDonald, please.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, it looks like I did have a question on this one for Mr. McFarland, so I'll let him go ahead and tackle that for the record.
Well, Your Honor, for my concern is, I did not see any receipts from your review. And I was particularly interested in a donation made on behalf of the protected individual. I was looking forward to reviewing those receipts. That letter was sent out on June 30th. Now, unless they've been delivered to the clerk's office, I haven't been notified. Those are my concerns.
I do have all the paperwork out in my vehicle. There was a donation made to the Catholic Church. My sister was Catholic. We were planting a seed of faith for her healing. That was $200. I did see that the lawyer's office did the accounting for me. I think they added in some other things to that, but that was the only donation that I did do. My sister was expecting a grandson, so we were planning a party before she passed away. So we did pay for party invitations, stuff like that. So I'm thinking that those got put in with the donation areas, but I do have all those receipts out in my vehicle.
All right, did you receive the letter from Mr. McFarland?
No, I did not.
I sent it to the attorney of record, Your Honor, Mr. Gross.
Yes, we received it, and it looks like what happened is, like she testified, some of these matters were just lumped into one thing because they didn't really fit into the conventional accounting niche. And so there were about $600 in expenses that Mr. McFarland brought to our attention. And as she said, they were for various miscellaneous things, including some care of dogs was also in that.
All
It
right,
totaled
so
about $600.
I have some time on August 31st at 9 a.m. to revisit this. Mr. McFarland, if you think you need some time to have a look at those receipts.
Well, it depends. If the court is satisfied with the testimony given today, I wouldn't. If the court would like me to examine it in more detail, I can absolutely do that, Your Honor.
Well, it's up to you. It does look like there's some pretty.
Well, from the testimony that's given, it sounds as though we have a receipt for $200 and some for the Catholic Church, and the rest. Yeah, I guess if I could, Your Honor, I guess I'd feel more comfortable just taking a quick look at those.
All right, Mr. Gross, and Ms. McDonald, any reason you couldn't rejoin us on the 31st? And you're welcome to utilize Zoom if you need to.
I have to take the day off either way. So it's like, what day is that? Do you know?
Well, we can also take your testimony today, which we have, and then waive that for reappearance on the 31st if we get that waiver from Mr. McFarland. That way you don't have to come back and take a day off.
I can do either or, so as long as it's not, what is September 1st is the day before the holidays, so I wouldn't be able to take that day off of work, so.
Right, so how about, you have all the paperwork with you in the car?
Yes, I brought everything with me.
All right, Mr. Gross, do you want that to go through your office to Mr. McFarland, or could I suggest to her that she simply bring that in and leave it with the clerks for him to have a look at, or how would you like to approach it?
Yeah,
that's
if she
how the
could run out
clerk's
to the
office
car right
prefers it.
now and bring that back up, maybe we can avoid a second hearing and save everyone a little bit of time.
All right.
I think it's
It
fairly de minimis and we don't have any objections to it. So other than Mr. McFarland, which I respect, but it'd be good
Very
to see
good.
what those are.
All right, so are there any other questions that you would have for Ms. McDonald, Mr. McFarland?
I do not, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Ms. McDonald, is all of the information set forth in the first and final accounting truthful, accurate, and complete to the best of your
To
knowledge?
the best of my knowledge, yes.
Thank you for your patience. We'll ask you to grab those receipts, and then if I receive Mr. McFarland's waiver today, I'll be happy to simply sign off on the order allowing the accounts, and that way you won't have to. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I have a box, so do you want me to bring the box in and up, or,
I don't know for security.
If, I was just gonna say,
or
if
just try to look through and grab what I think they
you
need?
can do that, or if you want to bring the box, if they get any trouble with security, just ask them to
Okay.
call bailiff Ames and I'll come down.
Okay, all right.
Your Honor, if I might, I would kind of rather than just have a whole box, if she could separate out what she believes the donations are, rather than me billing for going through an entire box of receipts. They should be categorized, really. So,
Okay, does that work for you?
So he just wants me to try to get the receipts out that I have. So yes, I can do that. It might take me a few minutes, so.
Well, that's all right.
I went through them last night, so I have everything categorized by month, so,
That sounds
okay,
like a plan.
okay, I will do that.
Okay, so we'll recess on this file, and I'll just look for those, that waiver, or an update on that, Mr. McFarland, if we need to put it back on the docket at some point today.
yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so that's it then. You're welcome to go down and get started on that.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
So are we just adjourning for a little while, or are we?
Yep, I'm just gonna recess. You don't have to come back on record, unless, we'll let you know. How about that?
I'm sorry, unless we have a problem, I'm assuming.
Right.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brings us to, this is in the matter of Phyllis Myers, file 50719.
Court's been asked to approve the second, third, and fourth annual accountings filed by Ms. Donna Baker in this file. May I have the names of our participants, please?
I'm Donna Baker.
Michael McFarland, attorney guardian ad litem, who has filed a waiver.
Yes, thank you. All right, Ms. Baker, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Is all the information contained in the second, third, and fourth annual accountings truthful, accurate, and complete to the best of your knowledge and information?
It is.
Very good. Anything of note in the filings that you'd like to bring to my attention?
No.
All right. Mr. McFarland, anything of note?
No, Your Honor, I signed the waiver and consent. I had no concerns.
I see that. Yes, it does seem straightforward. The accounting is complete and accurate and ought to be allowed. And so that is what the order will reflect on the second, third, and fourth annual accountings in this file. We will note also we have had no oral or written objections to the proposed approval and the accountings. So for all those reasons, they are approved and the order reflects that, as well as any and all fees and costs I set forth in the petition. Unless there's any questions, that's all for today. Thank you for coming on.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Call the front door.
Thank you. Okay, this is in the matter of Vera Pinter, file 51203.
Okay, court's been asked to approve the third annual accounting in this file. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Ashley Hanson Grimes, petitioner and conservator for Vera Pinter. And I think Vera is actually on the Zoom with us with a representative from Lenawee Medical, Devin Donnelly, I think is what it's listed under, Your Honor.
Yes, good morning, Vera. Thank you for coming.
Good morning.
Michael McFarland, attorney guardian ad litem, who has filed a waiver and consent, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hanson Grimes, is all you, well, I guess you're not in your attorney capacity this morning, so we'll swear you in, Deputy Ames.
Do we ever take it off, Your Honor, though?
May not.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Hanson Grimes, is all the information presented in your third annual accounting truthful, accurate, and complete to the best of your knowledge and information?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything of note?
Your Honor, the receivership has ended. So I did provide documentation to the court regarding that. So next year, our accounting will just reflect the actual income of Miss Pinter. That we've been able to use those funds in order to pre-plan a funeral for her, and allow. There are some reimbursable expenses as Amazon doesn't allow for a checking account to be used. So I have purchased items for Vera, but I contained all invoices that say that it was shipped to Vera and that it came from my account. Vera is a delightful lady, and her family is actually very accommodating. If she does need something or if she runs out of something, they are quick to send me an email so that I can make sure she's getting what she needs. The only thing that we haven't been able to get for her yet is a cell phone, but I'm working with some of the other conservators to see how maybe we could best accommodate her with that request.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, I have also reviewed the third annual accounting. It does appear to be correct. Obviously, the detailed receipts in support of that are very useful, and you have provided Mr. McFarland with the basis that he needs to file his waiver and consent. The order reflects the third annual accounting is allowed, as well as all fees and costs as set forth in the petition. Unless there's any questions, that's all for today. Thank you for coming, Vera. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome to exit the meeting whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ready, you ready?
This is in the matter of David Townley Perry, file 52634.
Hey, the court's been asked to approve a petition for sale of real estate in this matter. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Doug Hartung today, appearing by Zoom on behalf of the petitioner, conservator Tamara Perry.
Thank you.
Michael McFarland, attorney guardian ad litem, who has filed a waiver and consent, Your Honor.
Very good. All right, Mr. Hartung, are you expecting anyone else to join you on this?
I was expecting Tammy Perry to show for this, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, in person?
No, by Zoom.
Okay, all right. We are about 5 minutes early, so if you like, I can take a brief recess to give her some time to arrive.
Whatever you would like, I'm happy to go forward if you'd like to. I know they're anxious to get this done. It's acceptable to Mike and yourself, but whatever you would like, Your Honor.
Well, I think we'll probably be there right at that 9:30 timeframe still, I would assume. So why don't you go ahead and do your initial presentation, and then as she arrives, we'll incorporate her participation.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the court and the staff for setting this matter up a little more quickly than it probably would have on the court schedule. There is a closing date set for the first part of August, and we asked them to accommodate that, and they did that very nicely, and I thank you and your staff. This matter comes before the court today on a verified petition from conservator Tamara Perry. David Perry is her father-in-law. And we're asking the court today to approve the sale of 7366 Donegal Drive in Onstead, Michigan. There is a purchase agreement attached to the petition. It shows the sales price at $268,000. This property was not purchased that long ago by Mr. Perry and his now deceased wife. And the SEV value shows 226. So even in a very short period of time, we've seen a roughly 20% or so increase in the value of the property. And you have waivers and consents filed by all of Mr. Perry's children in this matter. Mr. Perry himself has been served both personally and by mail. I don't know that the court needs any testimony in this matter, but with the verified petition, but we are asking the court to approve the sale of this today.
We have had Ms. Perry join us. Good morning, Ms. Perry. Would you like to give us your name for the record? I'll have to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, this is Tamara Perry.
Very good. Deputy Ames, would you swear in Ms. Perry for us?
Ms. Perry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please raise your right hand and let me know when it's raised.
It's raised.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Hartung, any questions for your client?
Very briefly, Ms. Perry, you've asking the court today to, requesting the court today to approve this petition to sell the Donegal Drive property in Onset. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you've reviewed all this with your husband and his brother and sister, and everybody's on board to do this. They think this is the best move at this point in time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Earlier, I thanked the court for getting this in a little earlier than normal, and I want to put that on the record again, but there was a closing set up for the first part of August in this matter. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And Mr. Perry, your father-in-law, was served personally and by mail with this petition. Has he made any effort to try to contact you about his feelings about this?
No.
His dementia has gotten fairly severe at this point in time. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say to the court about this, the sale of this property? We had a brief presentation before you logged on, but we've covered most of that now.
Right. I have nothing more to add, but I'm definitely thankful that we were able to get this done as quickly as possible.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions, Mr. McFarland?
Or maybe just a clarification. Ma'am, the SEV value on this property is $113,300. So the retail value is approximately $226,600. And you're selling it for substantially above the market value, correct?
That's correct.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Very good. All right, Ms. Perry, would you just confirm for us that all the funds will be used to meet the needs of Mr. David Perry?
Yes. Yep. They'll be used to pay his rent and take care of his medical issues. Yes.
Anything else, Mr. Hartung?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, the court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's hearing. They received no written objections, nor anyone appearing in person to object to this hearing or the request. I have listened to the testimony of Ms. Perry, and I've reviewed the waiver Mr. McFarland filed, as well as the arguments of Mr. Hartung, and I do find that it is appropriate to grant the petition to allow the sale of the property of Mr. David Perry to provide those funds for his care. He needs those to provide for his housing and treatment, given his condition. And so I have signed the order granting the petition for sale, and I wish you the best of luck. And I'll pass along your accolades to my clerk's office. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
All right, that's all for this morning. Thank you.